welcome to Cover Story. Well, now that Rahul Gandhi has decided to become Congress president, we are here to try and decode what the Congress will look like under his leadership. For instance, what will be his policies regarding his political messaging, his economic policies and his general ideological outlook. Where will he take his party? Is he as against alliances as he was some time back? To answer these questions and try and understand Rahul Gandhi, I have with me two very powerful and articulate Congress leaders, former Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit and Sushmita Dev, the Mahila Congress Chief. Welcome to this show. And Sheila ji, I'll begin with you. You've seen generations of Congress leadership from Indira ji to Sonia to Rajiv to now Rahul. What do you think are the biggest challenges in front of Rahul taking over at this point in time?
Well, the biggest, every political party has a challenge all the time. It's sometimes big, sometimes small, sometimes this is, sometimes that. He has a challenge, but I think he is quite ready and prepared to take on the challenge. And as you had mentioned in your introduction, that there will be, challenges of all kinds, economic challenges and job challenges and the way development should be going in India, and all this, keeping all the states together, keeping all the people together, looking after the young, looking after women, looking after men. So there are plenty of challenges. But I have this feeling, and a very distinct feeling, that he's prepared himself for that, because over the past couple of months, there has been a sea change in his approach to politics. And remember another thing, that he's the only one who applied for being, the Congress president. Nobody else came. And it's a huge responsibility, but I am confident he will, undertake it extremely well.
Sushmita, the huge challenges before him, but we've seen the sea change that Sheila Dikshit talked about in Rahul Gandhi. I've seen the change, say, someone who used to say only the Indian flag is my religion. Now he's saying I'm a Shiv Bhakt. From someone who fought against POSCOs to take on the rights of tribals, now he's open to meeting corporates. He's even have a professional congress. Is he rethinking his ways? He's doing a course correction?
I think 2014 elections threw us into the deep end, the last Lok Sabha election. And my perspective is that he turned that difficulty into an opportunity. And he planned it.
It took his time to do that.
Yeah, and he planned it well, because from what I have watched from the outside and maybe a little bit on the inside, is he spent the first 2.5 years concentrating on the organization, the culmination of which you're seeing now with the reshuffle of the AICC. Everybody who's getting a place in whatever position in the organization has met him over the last 3 years in lots, sometimes bigger lots or smaller lots. And I think once he put the organization, the plan for the organization in place, he turned towards social media. He turned towards issues which included corporates, like you said. But he didn't abandon the issues which are close to his heart, like the land acquisition, like the Adivasis, like you said. So I think irrespective of whatever the narrative has been around him, he had a plan and he stuck to it. So I don't think Rahul Gandhi has changed, but the plan Rahul Gandhi had in mind is gaining appreciation, because it's culminating into a good vision for the party and for the future.
Okay, let's take it step by step here. I'll begin with you. The minority, policies of the government. There has been a rethink post-UP within the party also, that we shouldn't be seen as someone who's catering only to one community. So hence all this temple visits of Rahul.
No. But this is some interpretation which I don't know who is given.
So then explain his sudden interest in visiting temples.
We have always treated the minority like any other majority. For us, Indians are Indians, whichever religion they may belong to, whichever part of the country they may come from.
But then you said they have first right on resources. Statements like this is what throws the majority community saying that we are second rate for them. So then we will vote for the BJP.
No, that was the wrong thing. They never said it. They have just been saying it now since the BJP has come into power. But they never said it before. Nobody said.
They didn't vote for you.
Sorry?
They didn't vote for you.
No, that's a separate matter. They didn't vote for us, as she said. We went through a bad patch where, you know, we lost a lot of elections. But the fact is, as I would again quote her, that you learned from those lessons. You've learned from those lessons. You make mistakes. Sometimes you do things which should not have been done, and you become wiser. And the fact that you accept that and do it, like for instance farmers, for instance, you know, he's been for the farmers. And I was with him in the tours which he took around in UP. And the huge number of farmers who came to him, you know, because he was taking up their...
Midway.
Sorry?
But he abandoned that midway, so is
no,
he here to
stay?
He
is concerned about the payments that the farmers should be getting and, you know, do not get. There is it. So and remember one thing please, that he is learning also. He is doing things and he's also learning at the same time. And I think what is very encouraging about him is that he learns and changes, you know, the paths that he may have thought.
So he's flexible according to the
situation.
situation.
Flexibility. So that is a great thing in a leader to be. And in the Congress party, there's a lot of faith which has developed in him. And I'm sure it is happening to a lot of youngsters also. Because remember one thing, the youngsters were very keen on the BJP because the BJP had promised jobs to everybody. And nobody got jobs. You know, nobody's got jobs.
But there is no Rahul model. That is what, you know, Sushmita, people are saying. Like with Modi, we see a Modi model. You can debate whether it's good or bad.
We've seen it now.
Well, as you're saying, but there is something to debate with.
I'll tell you something. The huge self-goal that Narendra Modi has done is by telling us there's a Gujarat model. And I'm very happy that Rahul Gandhi ji has not, has not projected a so-called model that if I become the Prime Minister, I'm going to do this.
No, it's not
because
projected. It's your achievements that you said, this is what I stand for. 13 years as an MP.
It is a fallacy to ask what does Rahul Gandhi stand for. Congress is a party. Congress as a party has given many rights to the people, right from food security to information.
But individually Rahul.
Now, individually Rahul Gandhi cannot say that I am only poor and I'm not thinking about industry. Today, being in the opposition, whenever he's disagreed with the policy of the government, he's faced it. He's opposed the implementation, the manner in which GST has been rolled out. He opposed the government when it pushed for the Land Acquisition Act. He supported the black money bill. Let's talk about his policy because we act in parliament under his vision. He supported the entire revamping of the auction of the mines. So it is very clear what his policy is. And I would also like to add that Rahul Gandhi ji will never, and I'm going on record, he will never impose a model. And the biggest evidence of that, in Gujarat, our manifesto is a people's manifesto. He got Sam Pitroda ji and Madhusudan Mistry ji to meet the women, to meet the students, to meet the farmers, and then we came up with the manifesto. So we don't believe in a top-down approach. We believe in the Gandhian model. He's on record saying that. So when he takes over as the Prime Minister, which he will,
from Congress President, we've reached Prime Minister.
Of course he will. It's inevitable. He will reflect, his model will reflect what the aspirations of people are.
Okay, no, see, my problem with that is so far, as 13 years as an MP, you have a constituency there, you can say, okay, this is the way Sushmita, this thing, you have been a chief minister, we know, what you stood for, it was there on the ground. Right now for Rahul Gandhi, it's all on paper. His Amethi thing didn't take off, what are the projects he's undertaken?
Which is the Amethi thing that didn't take off?
They've been losing the current elections, he's just about managed to hold on to his seat.
What happened in Banaras, what happened in Gorakhpur, are you all aware of that?
No, but he's also been a UP
I'll tell you something. If our opponents say that the result of UP reflects on Rahul Gandhi ji or this result...
No, I'm just saying that his constituency, forget the rest of UP. And Youth Congress he took over as he wanted to reform it. वो भी नहीं हुआ, वहाँ पे उसका democratization. Then he began by saying, I want to change the system, I'm a part of, today he's defending dynasty. So,
no, one second, he said...
Is there one thing that he's undertaken that is successful? कि राहुल ने ये किया है?
Let's analyze one or two things that he said because the time is short.
Okay.
You're talking about that he has not been able to reform Youth Congress. Today, through the electoral process of Youth Congress, we have people who are not dynasts. We have people who have not even seen in the political arena who have come up. Today, yes, the media focuses on a son of somebody or daughter of somebody, but there's a huge body of young people who fought elections against very big leaders of Congress and have come as Youth Congress president. That is the reality, much to the dismay of many Congress leaders.
His economic model, Sheila ji, he's been, you've seen Indira Gandhi's model, you've seen Sonia Gandhi's model. How do you read Rahul's model? Will he be towards NGOs like his mother? Will he be very socialist like Mrs. Gandhi or more liberal like Rajiv?
I think it's going to be a mixture of all, and what India requires today. Because please remember, India is also changing. Mm-hmm. The aspirations of the young and those who are middle-aged and all, things have changed. We have today in India, which wasn't there before Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister. Rajiv Gandhi came and changed the whole scenario of India and its development model. So the same way, Sonia Gandhi kept up what was there, took it forward, chose a Prime Minister, all of them chose a Prime Minister, who has made India economically a strong
But he was, as a finance minister, yes, as Prime Minister, he wasn't able to impose his economic reforms.
No, of course he did. Of course he did.
The
kind of reforms you see today in India were not there 10, 15 years ago. Please remember that.
91, yes, but from 2004 to 2000.
No, maybe little, but there are certain things that happen. I wouldn't say, that nothing happened, or I would say that everything happened. No, but things moved forward. Now, the thing with Rahul is that he will evolve. Please give him time. He's become the president.
Time we've given him. Now we want delivery.
No. He's
as
become
a Congress
the president
person
now. Give him an opportunity. Give him a chance. Then, evaluate him. But we start evaluating a person the moment he or she enters. That I don't think is a correct thing at all. Let him come out with it. And I admire the fact that a person like him does not take it for granted that what I think is the best. He adapts himself.
But a leader has to have a conviction of his own words also.
Yes, he does. He obviously has.
Follow me.
No, he obviously has a conviction, because otherwise he wouldn't adapt and change himself when he thinks he should. And I think that's a great quality in him. He doesn't stick to it all. And he's evolving just now. Please, let's not say that this is the end of Rahul.
He's the longest work in progress, I know.
No, that's not. You may know that or may not. Time also is there. His mother was there, Sonia ji, was looking after everything. He was a part of a group of people. Correct. And now he's going to be himself. You see, when you're part of a group and when you're yourself, you're very different.
And actually, Sushmita, you're the right person, because you've seen, as a first-time MP, you were with him in Parliament also. So you've seen his emergence of a leader, or when he started taking from the beginning of 2014 to now. What are the changes that you've seen from his so-called sabbatical to what he's doing today?
See, Sheila ji is right that he's evolving. But see, what I see is clarity. I have never seen him fickle. And I agree with Sheila ji that his strength is, he's not dismissive of anybody, because what is going against Narendra Modi ji is his lack of engagement. He's a Prime Minister of monologues and not dialogues. So Rahul Gandhi ji's strength is, whether it's a Ashok Gehlot or a Sushil Kumar Shinde, or whether it's a Sushmita Dev or a Gaurav Gogoi or a Rajiv Satav, he has the ability to adapt both our visions at the top and at the bottom. That's his strength. So if you say it's been the longest sabbatical, I pray to God that he continues to evolve, because we don't want a dictator as our leader. So he has to have the ability to say,
we don't want a full stop leader.
Yeah, that I want this and I don't want this. And I think he's decisively spoken on policies. Despite the entire country saying note ban is about nationalism, he stood up to say it's going to destroy the legitimate cash economy. And he said it at a time when everybody was parading behind Narendra Modi. When GST came, we were projected as anti-GST. Today Narendra Modi ji is saying we supported him in GST. So Rahul Gandhi, as far as I am concerned, has a long-term vision. He foresees what's going to happen, and that's the quality of a leader. And I think his strength has always been taking everyone along. And all the criticism about old guard and new guard. Today we have a combination of Ashok Gehlot ji and Rajiv Satav and Varsha Gaekwad
Sheila ji and you.
And Sheila ji and me batting for him together.
But before I go into that old guard and new guard, I think we're going to take a break. But before that, I just have one quick question for you. How did you feel when you came in as a first-time MP? The party suffered is possibly the worst defeat, and your leader goes off for a break. How did that impact your morale?
See, no doubt when we came down to 44, it was a big blow to our morale. There's no doubt about it. It was a difficult time for the party. And you see, I am not in a position to judge why he went.
How did you feel? Your feelings? Whether he went.
I felt nothing, because there's a human side to. There's a human side to everything, Priya. Today, if a Prime Minister decides to celebrate his birthday with the army, we appreciate that, we honor that. But if today a leader needs time out, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think I prefer a leader who has a human side to him than who sounds like a machine. I mean, I rather work for a human than for a machine.
Okay, on that note, and while Rahul Gandhi gets his political grammar straight, we're going to take a short break, but we're going to come back. So stay with us. Welcome back to Cover Story. We are in conversation with two generations of Congress leaders, Sheila Dikshit ji and Sushmita Dev, trying to decipher what the Rahul era in the Congress would look like. Sheila ji, before the break, Sushmita made an observation that what she found most endearing about Rahul is that he's also a human, he's not a machine.
Well, I entirely agree with her. And I don't see why anybody should comment on what he does. You know what he
has a holiday breaks for a leader in today's 24/7
He's a human
world.
being, number one. He has a personal life. He has a personality. And don't make it inhuman that you can't do this, you can't do that. Why have you done it at this time? We are nobody.
To take a break in the middle of a parliament session just when your party needs you.
No, you took a break. That's all right. What's wrong with it? He went without, he just didn't walk out of it or anything like that. That was the time he wanted. And I think this is far too petty judgment of what the human being is like. We have to judge him what is his leadership qualities. And he's evolving as a leader. He's coming up. Please remember, you can't become a leader overnight. It took all of us.
13 long years for Rahul Gandhi to do this.
No, I wouldn't say that at all. I would say that, after Jawaharlal Nehru became or Indira Gandhi became, if you remember that Lohia used to call Indira Gandhi Gungi Gudiya. Remember
Sonia was also called
yes, and she came up with it very well. So give them time. You can't judge a person immediately and say, we reject him or we accept him.
It's an evolving situation.
I think the best part about the difference that I see between Sheila ji and mine is not a substantive difference, as that she views him as a young son who's still evolving. And I think coming from his generation, I see him, he's already established himself as a leader. I think
I would agree.
I just want to say that it is with pride that I say that he's never held himself out as a leader who knows it all. Okay? So in that sense, he's evolving.
That's a great quality.
But he has never held himself out as a leader who has no clarity. But there is no fickle-mindedness in him. Contrary to popular belief, I have watched him in Gujarat, in the bus, how quickly he has taken decisions and rolled them out. He has overruled.
Give us an example of some of these.
See, example in the sense that every time we were planning the campaign, so suppose we said, let's go door to door. He was very quick to say that, yes, you can go door to door for 3 days, but I want a survey on whether it is working or not. Because sometimes it can be counterproductive. And he says, and if you are sending cadre door to door, he told Mahila Congress that you will do a training first on what they're going to say. So his decisions are very quick, he knows the flaws, and he draws from his experiences in the past. So that's what you expect out of your leader.
But Sushma, this is also the age of social media, the age of 24/7. Now Rahul has debuted, or he's taken to it very well. But will this continue? Is this only for Gujarat elections? Or will he, that whole sabbatical question comes up again.
No. Why do you assume will it continue? Why do you question all that? You see, after all, he's evolving. Why do you question things?
Because we've seen...
as she very correctly said, well, this is to be done, this is not to be done. It's a decision he takes. Now, the decision he takes, on whatever issue it may be, that you know this has to be done. And it doesn't work out too well. You know, it's a decision he took. He changes it. He says, no, no, let's go do it the other way around. Now you have that flexibility which a leader has to have.
No, fair enough, he is flexible, but is he there to stay? Is he going to be...
See, you're asking about...
Is he like a social media image? You know him well. That's the other question I want to ask you.
The thing about social media is, despite his busy schedule, he monitors his own Twitter handle, okay? I have seen him work pretty incisively in coining the way he does it. And he realizes that it's an important form of communication in the new age. He appreciates that. And like I said, he did things in steps. He first 2.5 years concentrated on identifying the right people for the organization, and then he moved to public perception and communication. The coming of Randeep Surjewala ji, and then having a very efficient social media team. And he will be consistent, I have no doubt about it. But I have to say that Rahul Gandhi ji has never held himself out to be a leader who should be measured by his Twitter handle. Because if he has tweeted twice in a day, he has done 20 samvads in a day. So he's balanced it very well. And there's a huge section of people he knows. There's a generation, and there are millions who are not on Twitter and social media. He's gone on stage and actually had a dialogue with them. So his strategy is very clear. Social media will be important, but is not all important for him. He believes in dialogues. So he's going to engage in person also. I mean, that's his. So
are we going to get more interviews with him? Is he going to engage the media also?
I'll tell you something, that media has not done him justice.
I think
let me just explain. I'm not talking about A. Priya Saigal or any individual person. Media has not done him justice, because in a 15-minute speech, if 5 seconds, it's a mistake of 5 seconds, that plays 50 times. Whereas Prime Minister is on record not knowing where Takshila is. Prime Minister is on record saying Ganesh ke time pe plastic surgery hui thi, and even getting Mahatma's name wrong. But channels don't run it. But Rahul Gandhi ji has stood for freedom of the media, and he believes in its strength. Please believe me, sometimes you may feel there's less access to him, but the way I look at it, that he is doing better than Prime Minister Modi, who's never met the media. At least you get him outside Parliament to give a bite.
No, Rahul used to meet before he became Prime Minister. Modi used to meet the media before he became Prime Minister. Yeah. Rahul still hasn't.
Priya, how many times have you caught him entering Lok Sabha? He's faced the mics. He's gone into that press gallery and spoken to the media.
What about a press conference where one can ask questions, have a two-way communication, and not just a soundbite leader?
Priya, if he's our leader, right? Nobody has that complaint about Sonia Gandhi ji. So why complain about Rahul? How many times has Sonia Gandhi ji addressed a press conference? Because there is a system in a party. There's a communication cell, there's a spokesperson. But everything we say officially is his strategy, is what he's saying. Yes, if you're looking for a one-to-one interview, when Sonia Gandhi ji has, I think, done very far and few, and that too on special occasions, that's our format. But it doesn't mean you don't have access to his strategy. Even the fact that Sheila ji and I are talking today, we are his voice in one way or the other. Fair enough. So you have access to us. You have access to us. You should worry about access to the Prime Minister, because he sets the agenda for the nation.
Well, the Congress, which we are hoping will emerge stronger as an opposition party and be able to...
No, we are not going to emerge as an opposition party. We are going to form government. Please stop.
She's already reached the Prime Minister. Yes,
why not?
Discuss Rahul as Congress President before he goes to
That's the aim.
Prime Minister.
If you have an aim, you want to reach it. Then you are
so he will be Prime Minister. You don't think that he should make a Manmohan Singh type figure?
No, he will be Prime Minister. We win the election and all. And he's after all the President of the Congress also. So it's a kind of a natural thing to happen for all of us. And I'm sure the nation also expects the same.
So last to you, Sushmita, when I say reluctant Rahul, now what is the new phrase for him? What would you call him?
I don't know why you're saying he's reluctant.
He was. So I'm looking for a new word for him now.
That's the narrative of the BJP which the media picked up. I've never seen him as reluctant. And I have no doubt that he's going to be a formidable force, not just for the Congress, but for the nation. And I would like to say, when it comes to Prime Ministership of Rahul Gandhi ji, Many people say he delayed his presidency. He believes that respect can't be demanded, it has to be commanded, and there's a time for it. And if he were to become the Prime Minister, if he agrees and our party comes to power, he'll not take it as with a sense of entitlement. You can be rest assured that he'll earn it.
Well, we'll wait to see if this compassionate, visionary Rahul, as Sushmita and Sheila ji have been telling us about, how that plays out in the Congress. But thank you for watching this show. We'll see you again same time next week.